Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Hi, I'm Chidera Peters. I've been married for 7 months and this makes me a marriage expert, okay? So you're in good hands. I'm just kidding, please. Everything I share, I just share out of my experience. I'm not any marriage expert. I was just saying that for bands, okay? Just for bands. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing on things no one told me before I got married. This is more of a hilarious take than a serious take, if that makes sense. I already have a video on my channel where I was very detailed about things I feel you should know before you get married. If you've not seen that video, you should check it out. It will be linked up here. That one I sat down and I was so serious and I talked about all the serious stuff. This one is going to be more laid back and chill, okay? So if you've not hit the subscribe button, what are you waiting for? Hit the subscribe button. Hit it. And let's get right into it. Hey guys, so I just want to make breakfast and then I'll talk as I make it. So I think the very first thing that, why are they distracting me?
I'm never married and I approve this message.
You approve it? What do you think I want to say? The very first thing I want to say that no one told me before I got married is that I have to cook. Now wait, before you come for me and be like, hey Chidera, everybody knows that you cook if you get married. For me, it did not actually hit me that I'm going to be cooking so much more than I used to. Now, just to put this in context, right? Ow. Ooh, sorry, I'm just opening the eggs up. So I just have onions here. Now, just to put this in context, Jason actually cooks, which is amazing. He's a great cook. He cooks a lot. We share it 70-30. I'll say he does most of the cooking sometimes. So I'm only imagining if he did not used to cook, how am I even going to cope? So, for example, when I was staying with my parents, right? When I was staying with my parents, I had my mom, I had my sister, I had my brother and my father. All of these people can cook. So we used to rotate it. I could cook once in a week. Sometimes I could go 2 weeks. I have not cooked here. Yeah, don't come for me, but yes. I could go 2 weeks without cooking in my father's house, right? And then here I am married. Almost every day I have to cook, or on weekends I have to do meal prep and stuff. And then you'll be like, okay, what about when I was living alone? When I was living alone, I used to eat once a day. So I could cook one meal on the weekend and it carries me for the whole week and I don't have to cook as much. But then now that I'm married, it's we're only two, right? It's only me. So if I'm not cooking, Jason is cooking. If Jason is not cooking, I'm cooking. So there's a lot of cooking now and I never actually thought that I was going to be cooking this much. And people actually say that, I'm coming, let me trash these eggshells. And people actually say that it gets worse when you have children, when children come into the picture, that there's going to be a whole lot more cooking. So if you're married and you have kids, please let me know how it's going. Let me know what to expect at that junction. Because what? I mean, do the children want to starve? Do they want to starve? Because Jason, please come help me bring out spices. Garlic powder, black pepper. Thank you.
Anything else?
What else do we used to put in egg?
Salt.
Okay, I have salt here.
Yeah.
So it may seem like a no-brainer, but honestly, I feel until you get married and start doing it as a daily thing, you don't realize how serious it is. Cooking is not a part of my life. And it's not I don't enjoy it, it's just that I'm realizing that I now cook much more than I used to before. So that's just the change, not it's a bad thing. And of course I have good help. Jason really pulls his weight in this house, and that's something I'm grateful for. Okay, so let me just make this and then we'll go to the living room and we'll talk about point 2. The second thing no one tells you. So the next thing that no one tells you before you get married is how sex may not be great at first. And it doesn't mean that either of you is terrible at it. It just means you have not found your rhythm and you're going to find it. You need to learn more about each other's bodies. what turns what turns each of you on, and just get to the point where you can totally enjoy sex. Marriage is the learning curve, right? So like I know that I'll keep learning, but like so far this is what I've learned. And especially if you were waiting before marriage, like not having sex before marriage, when you get married you might want to extend yourself some grace in order for you to figure stuff out. I won't feel like even if you've been having sex before marriage, because this person is going to be doing life with you forever, you're going to be sharing a space and all of that, there are still things you would have to learn about each other sexually as time goes by. So like the first few months, like sex might not be all that, but then you will find your rhythm, and when you find your rhythm it will become really good. Like it will become great, if that makes sense. In my other video I already had like a more serious and more detailed conversation about like why sex is important and all of that. You can check out the video, it will be linked up once again. Sex gets better over time as you get to know more about each other's body and just learning to find your rhythm. Oh, and by the way guys, before we go on, I want to tell you about a sale that's currently going on that you need to take a hold of. So Teddy Blake is doing a summer sale up to 70% off. Now, I'm only going to hook you up on things that actually make sense. So in my previous video, I already showed how I unboxed this bag. So this is a Teddy Blake bag, Ava Silver, 11 inches. I've had this bag for a few months now and it's my absolute favorite. Like till now, I still keep it in the box because it is such an asset. Like I love the bag, the leather is amazing, the quality of this bag is insane. Presently they are doing a sale up to 70% off, and honestly I feel like you should take advantage of it. The sale is going to last from the 12th of August to the 21st of August, okay? And if you click the link in the description box below, you're going to be taken straight away to the website where you can access this sale. I will tell you honestly, this is definitely worth the investment. I was just trying to bring out the extendable hand, so it actually has like an extendable handle and then like this. I have flexed the life out of this bag. Like it's my most valuable asset. Like this is my most valuable handbag. So I would advise that you run now to their website, link in the description box below, and get yours now that there's a 70% discount sale. It doesn't get any better than this, and this is actually amazing quality. Okay. The next thing that no one tells you about getting married, or tells you before getting married, is like lifestyle changes. Like you're going to have lifestyle changes. For example, here I am eating breakfast. Before getting married, I considered myself not a breakfast person. Like I could go the whole day not eat breakfast, but I just ensure I have my lunch or my dinner. Like those were the important meals for me. But living with Jason is a breakfast person, and over time I have learned to eat breakfast, because sometimes maybe he gets to start work early and then I have to make breakfast for him, and in that process I make for myself as well and then I eat. Now I actually eat breakfast. Like I am now a breakfast person. So that's a lifestyle alteration or change that I actually did not see coming. And hand in hand with this is weight gain, which I think I've already mentioned in a couple videos of mine. You're gonna gain weight, sis. You're going to gain weight, and there's such a thing as happy weight. Like it's been scientifically proven that when you get married, you have the tendency to gain weight because you're happy. I gained over like 8-9 kg, which I have actually lost presently. Like if you're new to this channel, I've been on a weight loss path for a couple months. I have a lot of videos on my channel detailing how I've been doing that. So yeah, I had to lose all that weight, but point is I gained the weight because I was experiencing happiness. My lifestyle and my eating habits were actually changing and being like altered. So that's something you should bear in mind as well before you get married. The next thing that no one told me before I got married is that you actually have to be mature in marriage. I know this sounds crazy, but like this, I mean it. Like you have to be mature. You have to be able to talk about your emotions. You have to be able to talk about how you feel. You can't just stay in the corner sulking or just carrying face for everybody. Ogbeni, you have to open your mouth and talk. You have to talk. You're an adult. You have to be matured. Okay? So this is something that I've actually been learning and I still struggle with, because I'm the kind of person that when I'm offended, I just withdraw. Like, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to be in your space. Like, I just want to be on my own. But it can't work in marriage, because how long or how many times am I going to do that instead of actually facing and, confronting the issues that I'm having? So, like, you have to be mature in marriage. You have to talk about your feelings, talk about your emotions, walk through things. It sounds easy, right? But when you're in it, you realize it's not always the easiest thing to talk about the way you're feeling or that the fact that you're hurt. Also, I'm not someone who is like very like 100% comfortable being vulnerable, which is something that God is helping me and I'm becoming better at. It takes a lot for me to actually admit that what someone did hurts me, because I don't want to show that vulnerable side of myself. But then in marriage, you have to do that. Like, you have to be vulnerable. You have to be mature enough to talk about your emotions. Now, this is something that even before marriage you should be practicing anyway, but it's like when you're living with someone, you honestly cannot escape that person. Like when I was dating him now, for example, if I was pissed, I could just, maybe we met and then we had a date, and if I'm pissed, I can go back to my house and take the space that I need and then call him when I'm ready. But then the fact that we share a space, a living space, means that I cannot avoid these things and I have to face them even sooner than I would have liked to, if that makes sense. I'm coming. Let me eat some more, please. So another thing no one tells you before getting married, or no one told me before getting married, is how like you honestly cannot count your forgiveness. You can't keep record of how many times you've forgiven this person for so and so and so. Like, you can't do that. It's so important to know that kindness is a must. Like, you have to be kind. Marriage will test you and bring out your deepest flaws. Like, I did not realize how difficult or how much I struggled with forgiveness until I started living like with Jason now as his wife. I'm realizing how difficult it is for me to forgive, and I'm now making intentional efforts to work on that, so that I'm able to forgive easily and quickly and not hold on to grudge for so long. So in marriage, forgiveness, you can't count it. And then kindness is a must. So it's like, even if you're mad at this person, you still have to be kind. And another thing is like, conflicts are a part of marriage. Like, it's something that like, you just have to accept. Like, you're going to have disagreements. That is guaranteed. If you guys are not having disagreements, it means that you guys are withholding back. Like, you're not facing, or you're not saying the things that are affecting you. You're not saying the things you don't like. Like, you're just holding back everything to avoid issues. But the thing is, like, disagreements are a part of marriage. It's how you're able to work through these disagreements that is actually the big deal, right? Your partner is going to annoy you. They're going to annoy you, like every week they're going to annoy you. Like, you just have to tell yourself, God, I'm going to rise above this. I'm rising above this. You're giving me grace and I'm rising above this, because you can't be going around every day angry, carrying face. Like, you're just going to be stressed. So you just have to learn to forgive and also be kind. Another thing no one tells you before getting married is that people love to be loved differently. I think I already recommended this book in my previous video. I'll just mention it again. Love Languages by, I think it's Gary Chapman. It will be on the screen. Make sure you get the book if you've never read it before. So there are different love languages, right? And people love to be loved differently. Now, this is something I already knew before getting married. But what is different now in marriage is just realizing the intentionality I have to put towards meeting Jason's needs, and also the effort he has to put into meeting my needs, because we both have different love languages. So for example, I'm high on words of affirmation. I like to be told sweet things. You know, when they say, tell me sweet nonsense, I like it. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel appreciated. And this is something that it doesn't come naturally to like Jason, right? But then he's made effort constantly to, you know, send me messages, to leave random text, like random notes here and there all over the house where I'm gonna look, like maybe on my desk, on my laptop, in a book that I'm reading. Like, he makes that effort, and I know that it's not the easiest thing for him to do, but he's stepping up to meet that need. And in my own case, I'm not like a touchy lovey person. Like, no, they touch me. That's how I am. No, they touch me, right? I like to be in my own space. Like, don't touch me, leave me alone. And then high on Jason's love language is physical touch. And this means I am really making that effort on a daily basis to actually like reach out to him, to hold his hands, to give him a hug, to touch his head, stuff like that. Like, you think that these things will be easy, but it's actually difficult because I have to be intentional about it. Sometimes I think, like, maybe when I'm at my desk working, I'm like, oh, have I hugged him today? Oh, did I give him a kiss earlier? Oh, did I hold his hand? I think about it, and when I feel like I've not done that enough, I go to him and then I, just extend some physical touch to him. So it's something that requires a lot of intentionality. Now, of course, before marrying him, I already knew that physical touch for him was high on his list. But when we're dating, it was different. Like, we're doing long distance for the most part. So I'll see him like once in a month or once in 3 months. So when we see, of course, I will hold his hands and then we'll hug each other, all of that. That's fine. But now that we're living together, it's like every day this need has to be met. So it's quite different from how it was when we were dating and now that we're married. every day the need has to be met. You know how Jesus would be like, pick up your cross daily and follow me. Daily you're gonna pick up this cross in marriage. You're going to meet this. You have to, because I feel like when you agree to marry this person, you also said you commit to meeting this person's needs. Okay, so you have to meet the needs that you signed up for, and it's a daily thing. You have to make the effort every single day. So when you sleep and wake up, you wake up and be like, today I'm going to make my husband feel loved, today I'm going to make my wife feel loved, and it's a daily thing. Okay. Another thing that no one tells you before getting married, or no one told me, is the concept of recreational companionship. So I actually learned about this from books that we've read together. So like one thing I know, or one thing I have learned just from living with Jason, now this may not apply to every single man out there, but one thing I can tell you straight up is that there's such a thing as recreational companionship. Like Jason just likes me to be involved in the things he's doing, even though I'm actually doing nothing. Let me give you an example, right? Sometimes we have to cut the bushes, like we have to trim it, what they call it, is it plants? Baby, not plants. The hedges outside the house, we have to cut it. So a lot of times I just stand there and I'm just looking at him and I'm just like, oh, well done, and all of that. And he actually likes that I'm standing outside there, even though I may not be doing anything. For him, just the fact that I'm outside there, I'm interested, makes him feel like supported and loved. So there's such a thing as recreational companionship for men. I think it applies to women too, but I'm just explaining this from my own experience. So for me, it's more, I have noticed it with Jason. He likes recreational companionship. This also plays out in different things, like even just being interested in like the games that he plays, or the football team that your husband is interested in. Like just making the effort to be a recreational companion for them. And it may not even mean that you do anything per se. Sometimes just being there. Maybe your husband is, I don't know, maybe fixing the light bulb and you're just in the living room there, just watching him do that. They actually like it. I don't know the science behind that, but like there's such a thing as recreational companionship. Okay, another thing that no one tells you before getting married is that you need to know how and when to speak. Yes, it's good to bring up the issues you're having. It's good to bring up the things you don't like that your partner is doing, but there's a time and there's a place. Even the Bible says wisdom is profitable to direct. So it's not everything you feel like saying you say on the spot. You have to sometimes look at, like, gauge the atmosphere. Is this the right time to bring up this thing? Will your partner take it well? How about their feelings? You have to consider their feelings before you just blurt out whatever it is you want to say. Yes, given, you should talk about things that are bothering you. But point is, there's a time and there's a place and there's a how to. Like, you don't just say everything that comes to mind. You need to apply wisdom to know when to actually bring certain issues up. And then there are also things that you just need God's wisdom to let you know whether you're to bring it up or just to leave it, if that makes sense. But yeah, definitely you need wisdom to navigate certain conversations, and also knowing how to bring them up. So another thing that no one tells you per se, or they don't really like explain in detail before getting married, is how like you would have to adjust to a person in your space, like in your personal space, because you guys will be sharing a living space together. You would have to adjust. Like, there are things that this person might do that's not actually how you do things, but you have to adjust and you have to accommodate those changes. It could play out in different things. Maybe you kept your pillows a certain way. By the time you come back to that space, it's already been arranged another way. So it's just being able to extend grace to one another and just be accommodating of the tendencies that your partner has, because you yourself, you also have tendencies that this person have to put up with. I can tell you for sure that's something that I do that I know Jason has kind of like just accommodated it. I'll call it like a bad habit. When I finish eating, I tend to just forget my plate there. A lot of times I try to take it out. Like, I don't know why it just happens, but like I might just eat food and then just leave it on the table and forget to take it to the sink. It's just it's something that Jason like really helps me with. Sometimes he just sees that he takes it to the sink, and I'm also making effort to remember often to take my plate to the sink. So this is me, like this is my own tendency, and this is him having to adjust to having me do that in his space as well. So another thing for example that I have had to adjust to is Jason shaving in the bedroom. So sometimes he shaves there, and then there's like hair in some places that I really don't want to be seeing hair, and I just have to accept it because man's got to shave his beard. He's got to shave his beard and look good, right? But then that's not something that I was used to, because okay, even if my father didn't even have beards like that, but even when he needed to shave, we were not like sharing a toilet per se, do you get? And my brothers, I never saw them shave in my front, if that makes sense. But man has to shave his beard, and sometimes he does that in the bedroom. I don't always like it, but I've just learned to accept it. Like, it's something I have to live with, because this is his home as well, and he has to be just as comfortable. So that's it, you guys. These are all the points that I have. Like I said, this is a very laid back chilled video. To check out the one that is more serious and more detailed and covers a lot of points in detail, like such as submission in marriage, sex in marriage, and then having like a new family by result of marriage, all of that, it's in the video linked. Just make sure you check out that video. It's going to give more context to a lot of the things that I've said here. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this video helpful. If you're married, please share your experience in the comments below. I always read my comments. I may not reply every single one, but I always read it. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Till next time, bye bye.